CINEMAGGOTS. Greetings and salutations, my beautiful people. Welcome back to CINEMAGGOTS.
Hey.
We went to the cinema and we're all maggots.
We've got an extra maggot.
Even you,
Today?
even Chloe.
Yes,
Yes, Chloe's joining in with us for this episode of CINEMAGGOTS, where we're going to be discussing literally a film we just saw. We've left the cinema. We didn't talk about it on the way home or anything. The new Pirates of the Caribbean, which I've forgotten the name of. Salazar's Revenge. Is that what it's
Not
called?
Salazar Slytherin.
No.
Another one.
Another one. Another Salazar.
Another one.
And Dog is joining us on the sofa.
Go on, Stan.
So yeah, we haven't spoken about it. Everything's fresh in our memories. It's like what, midnight? We just came out of a late screening, so
Good
well,
times to it.
I'm not going to start. You guys can start. What did you think?
I really liked it.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
you liked it?
Yeah. You hated it, didn't you?
Meh.
Right.
I'm right down the middle with it.
Middle. Okay.
I thought it was better than the last two. Let's just say that.
I don't think I've seen the last two, so.
You'd know if you saw them.
I've seen the first one, but then I think I like that as well. So I've missed a few, but
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Do you like it better than the last few, or is it in the top of the five that there are?
Well, I haven't seen the fourth one, but I think the second one will always be my favourite.
Second one, interesting.
So, yeah, it's alright. Yeah.
General consensus is that we enjoyed it, and like I said, I'm right down the middle.
I don't know why.
I'm right
You're down the middle.
I'll tell you why I'm down the middle. Well, the immediate first thing about it is that it's feeling tired by this point, in my opinion.
Right.
It is the same thing. I know it's Pirates of the Caribbean. You have to go in and expect something, but there is literally nothing that was done that was surprising, or fresh, or new. And because of that, whenever there's like a tense scene or a scene where you need to think, oh my god, are they going to make it out? What's going to happen? Blah blah blah. The sense of like finality and
I disagree.
tension,
actually.
I don't think it's there because you know they're just going to make another
disagree.
one. You know they're just going to make another one.
Yeah, well that's fine because
I know, but when you go in with that mindset, it's already kind of.
I thought they were a few of the tense scenes were quite tense. I know it was a funny scene as well, but the guillotine scene when he was spinning round, I was a bit like, obviously we know he's not going to get his head chopped off.
Obviously, yeah.
But it doesn't stop it from being tense. Just because you know he's going to be alright.
Yeah.
It doesn't, you know.
But it does. But for me, it still makes it feel tired because they're trying to get that reaction out of you, but it just.
It's quite predictable.
Yes.
In some places.
Exactly.
Whose side are you on?
I'm on
Oh, that's what I mean. I am right down the middle with it.
No, that's fair enough.
But what I do think is that it's actually I think you can see the effort more here than any of the last two.
Right.
I think they used all of their juices on the first one. The second one was pushing it a bit. Third one I completely hated. Fourth one was completely throwaway. I don't remember a single thing that happened in it. This one, it looked like they actually tried. You can see the effort in it. Acting is great. No complaints on that. It's great to see all the old characters coming back, even if briefly. That it's good to see everybody kind of.
Yeah.
It's trying to bring itself back to its roots. But then this is how you I don't know who goes into films like this, but you start in the middle, and then as it gets better, you go up, and as it gets worse, you go down in terms of the rating in your head.
I think that's you.
Oh.
I never watch movies the way you watch
okay,
movies, ever.
Either way, it kind of stayed on a 5 and just didn't move either way. And when it started kind of going one way, it went back down the other. But the main thing that really bugged me was that no matter how good the acting was or how literally the actors pulled the thing together, because I think they did. I think that was the main reason that film worked. It was just the actors. Everything happens so contrived, it's almost unbelievable. Like, so it starts off with the kind of, okay, so Will Turner's son wants to save him from the curse and everything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he's, like 9 years later, he just so happens to be with these explorers who just so happen to be going to this place where this Spanish guy just so happened to be killed by Jack Sparrow, who just so happens to have a compass for the thing, who just so happens to be the person that everyone's looking for. But then Henry Turner just so happens to be where this lady is. Karina? What's her name?
Karina.
Yeah. So she just so happens to be with her, who's also just so happens to be looking for exactly the same place with exactly the same stuff. Just so happens to be also looking for Jack Sparrow, who just so happens to be enemies with.
We get it.
Jack Sparrow, she's looking for the trident.
Well, she's looking for the trident, but everyone just so happens to be looking for the same thing.
See, I didn't think that at all during the film.
I don't know.
At all. Not even
Everyone for whatever reason is just in the...
But how else was the story going to happen?
Not that...
How else?
It didn't feel natural to me, like, at all. It did not feel natural. And it's like... And just stuff like that keeps on happening. So it's like, so it turns out after all of this that Karina was Barbossa's kid. What are the chances of that? And she just so happens to be looking for the thing, and Barbossa, and that's another thing. The Spanish guy comes up from the water, just so happens to be getting Barbossa's ships, and then he just so happens to know figure out where Jack Sparrow is, and it's just one thing after the other, and it's just so based on freak occurrences that
he's going after Barbossa's ships because he wants control of the sea. So that's
he doesn't know who Barbossa is.
Listen, they're all going after different things. It's not all
but it's
the
not
same thing.
Chance.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The chances are every single scene there is a chance, and it's a huge shot, but it just so happens to work. And I just don't think that's very natural.
I don't really see the big problem with that. I honestly don't.
Because it feels like they didn't have any imagination on how they're going to make everything work.
But the reason the story works is because a lot of things are by chance.
I was going to ask how she felt about how it was structured.
No, I think it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few bits where like, well, how does that work? Like with the dividing thing. Just, I don't get how the stars can make things work. That bit I don't really
Well, that's
get.
another thing. They find the island and they come to the surface, and within 5 minutes just so happen to see the exact place.
It's because they were red.
It's a huge island, and it was
Not
a big island.
And it was in the night, and the red ones are gonna shine over.
Yeah,
the
right
white
in
ones.
front of their faces. It could have been on the other side of the island, could have been behind them, but no.
But either way, the way the things were positioned, wherever you were on the island, you would see the
You
red
would
ones
see
first.
exactly because they were higher.
There were hills. There were hills. It was a landscape. So if you were on one side of the island, you wouldn't have seen
I
it.
think you're being a bit nitpicky here.
No.
It is a
No, I
Disney
do.
film. It's new. It's aimed for kids
It's
who
a
don't.
12
I don't
take
think.
it
I
apart.
do not think. I don't think that's
No,
an
no, that's
excuse.
not an
I still
excuse,
thought
but-
it was an unbelievably unnatural, and for me, it felt even more unnatural when the script and how the thing was written. I didn't think was very good at all. Like, at all. Oh yeah, well that's another thing that doesn't make sense. Contrivance as well. So Jack Sparrow, when he's really young, has that compass, right? That just so happens to be the curse lifter thing, and it's like that's the key to everything. But
It doesn't just happen to have it. It was given.
it was given to him, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to believe that he held on to that thing for decades, being a drunken, idiotic, bumbling fool who loses everything, doesn't know what he's doing.
What else did
No,
he
he
lose?
does know what he's doing.
What else is-
Everything.
No, no.
He lost his ship. He lost his own ship. Like, this is a
But he
guy
didn't
who's
lose-
useless.
He didn't lose it because he can't find it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that with
Well,
all the
no, it's
stuff...
different
No. What I'm saying is with the stuff he does, like, think about, like, the wheel battle, think of all the swinging he does, all of the moving, and he doesn't lose that compass once. Like, at all. And I just don't,
No,
I
he
just
didn't
don't buy
second.
it. I don't buy it.
Okay, but that's the way it is. He doesn't lose
And all
it.
of a sudden, and all of a
That's
sudden,
just the
and
story.
all of a sudden, he only loses it when he wants to trade it for a drink. So in that whole time, in the tens and tens of years he had that thing, that was the moment.
No, he
when
didn't
everyone
lose
was
it, he gave
just
it
so
away.
happened to be looking for the trident. I don't buy it. I don't buy
He
it.
gave it away. He didn't lose it. He purposely gave it away,
Yeah,
so
he
he knew
didn't
what he
lose
was
it.
doing because he wanted his drink.
And he knew that.
Yeah, but
But he
yeah, but
knew
we're,
what-
I don't know why I'm
he
supposed to
knew
believe
what
that
would
at that
happen.
moment.
He knew what would happen. He'd get his drink, and he knew he'd get the compass back. He knew all that. He
Did
knew
he?
it. Yeah.
He looked unbelievably surprised when he put the compass down and everything started
He
shaking.
obviously would,
He
but
knew what
knows
was going
he's
on.
doing.
Yeah, he did.
No,
I
I
think
don't
so.
buy
No,
it.
he knows
Well,
what
it doesn't
he's
matter
doing.
if you buy it or not. That's the way the story went.
I know, but I don't buy how it works. I don't buy how it works. I think
Google it,
it's not a case of not understanding it. I could see what was going on. But no. Anyway, as I was saying,
Domestic.
at the
Domestic in progress.
yes.
We're not going to agree on this.
So at the beginning, they do the bank robbing bit,
Yeah.
and then they go over to the ship which has been stranded on the shore for God knows how long,
Yeah.
right? And then at that moment, everyone's like, "Oh, well," because they bring the safe in and there's no money in it, and they say, "Oh, Jack, your luck's run out." So again, tens of years have gone past, and everything that's happened, and the fact that they even escaped in the first place, but just because there's no money in there, they're all like, "Oh, screw you, we're off." Why haven't they gone ages ago, unintentionally or not? He has done so much rubbish stuff And it's like, at that particular moment, everyone just doesn't want to have anything to do with it.
Well, maybe it took that long for them to have had enough.
Because
they built up resentment like anybody else would.
They've come and gone throughout all of the films all the time, and I just don't get it.
We disagree on quite a lot of movies, actually. We don't agree on everything.
Well, see, this is another thing, right? So, another thing with the writing as well, it's the fact that, you know, at the ending bit when it turns out that Barbossa has the kid, and as luck would have it, they're all together and everything. And then they want to go for that kind of emotional moment. As like 5 seconds before his death, that's when she discovers who he is. Because that was lucky.
Yeah.
And then she asks him, what am I to you? And he says to her, treasure. And we're supposed to all go, oh, that's very sweet.
I did. We did.
He left her in an orphanage on the doorstep with fuck all.
He was a
Why would he say that
pirate?
that second?
Because
he's still a pirate. There's no...
Yes, but he's
It's so out of character and it comes out of completely nowhere.
He was going to chuck himself off the anchor.
Yeah, probably.
So if you know you're going to do that,
Yeah.
and there's this kid who doesn't know that you're their dad or mum or whatever, and you're going to die, I think I would possibly, if I knew I was going to die and I had this thing I really wanted someone to know, I would tell them.
But it's not true because he left her.
It is not true. He is her dad.
He left her so that he can't go, I love you so much, because
he didn't say that.
He said, you're a treasure to me. That says to me, I love you.
It's not the same. Unless he said, I love you, that isn't what he said.
Okay, well, it was a treasure he decided to fucking throw away and leave for God knows how many years.
He probably regretted it. How do you know?
It took him that long to find her, though.
He didn't find her. He wasn't looking for her. She found him.
Exactly, which is why I have a problem with the story of everyone so happening to come into the same point out of completely nowhere.
I don't think that's a problem. What do you think, Chloe? You haven't said a lot on this.
Don't really know, in all honesty.
Know.
I mean, I like the franchise as it is, and I'm not going to let you ruin it for me.
I'm not trying to ruin it. I'm not trying.
You are being such a wet weekend about it.
Why?
Because you're tearing it apart.
I'm not tearing it apart. I said I like it 5 out of 10, half and half. Sorry, I will stop doing this. Stop being so negative. But the thing I didn't like, verbal jokes, didn't do them. Didn't do it for me. There were 3 chuckles from me. The rest of them were just flat, as far as I'm concerned. But
maybe you don't get the pirate sense of humour.
Oh dear.
Because you're not a pirate. Some of us are pirates at heart.
Okay, right.
Others, not so much.
Oh, okay.
So much.
So that means you're a rum drinking.
You know I'm a rum drinking pillager.
Oh, okay. What I was saying was the verbal stuff went straight over. It didn't go over my head. I understood what was going on. I just didn't find it funny at all.
All right.
The physical stuff, the practical stuff, the things that happen in front of you, I thought was so funny. I loved how when one of the pirates tries to shoot one of the dead pirates, the bullet goes through him and kills someone else.
Yeah,
I loved how when they get the ship off of the beach, the stranded ship off the beach, and they get stuck on the rope.
Yeah.
Everyone falls forward, right?
Yeah.
Jack doesn't fall forward. This was really subtle, which I like. Jack doesn't fall forward, and he's like, well, what's happened? What's wrong? And then the rope breaks, and everyone falls back because the ship's moving again. But instead of falling backwards, Jack falls forwards.
Yeah,
he's the only one at the front of the ship, when he should have gone because the ship moved.
Notice
Yeah,
that.
so stuff like that was funny. Obviously, him climbing over the fence and falling into the mud is funny. The guillotine bit is brilliant. But no, all of that stuff was great. I loved as well how all of the pirates from Salazar they all kind of got cursed how they died. So some of them got blown up by the bombs that went off when Jack sent them off into the cave and everything. So they all got stuck as they were. But the captain Salazar that drowned, he died as being drowned, but when he's walking around, he's still underwater with his hair and everything. The slapstick stuff was really, really great. I have no complaints about the physical stuff. I thought it was really funny, really tightly done. And it's very exciting. All the set pieces are fantastic. I love the bits where the ocean's parting.
Yeah.
That looks really cool.
I liked how whatever it was, their ship that went around attacking everyone else's ship. All I could think of when they were doing that was how it looked like the gaping dragon.
Yeah, I know. But see, that was really cool. I loved how the ship did that. It literally opened its mouth and ate things. That was so cool.
That worked really well.
But no, that was great. And obviously the actors, I think, are the only main reason by this point that anyone is coming back. If you get rid of Johnny Depp and get rid of Jeffrey Rush and get rid of everyone else, it just falls apart. But
how could we forget?
What?
The additional pirate.
Oh yes, Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
Well, as far as a
Why was he bit.
Well, as far as a cameo goes, I thought he was quite funny for the minute he was in. He had one of the he had one of the few lines I laughed at. But no,
good.
I mean, for being on the posters, I thought it was a bit. Well, I mean, it's selling the movie, isn't it? But
he probably got paid millions for that.
I don't know. It said in the credits special appearance by Sir Paul McCartney. So it's like, oof,
I think he did a good job.
For being in it not long, yeah, it was funny.
Did good.
It was funny. It was funny. It's just a few things around it. Like Salazar, I didn't find very interesting at all.
I thought he was quite brutal.
At the beginning, he has a cool introduction, absolutely. But he just gets more uninteresting, I think, as it goes on. Not that it's a bad performance or anything. I just don't think that his motivation. I was like, oh, so Jack killed him. Great. That's like every other movie. There's a dead guy that's been cursed by him, and they want to kill him for revenge. They've done that before. So.
But what do we think about Will
Turner?
About him coming home.
Okay.
Oh,
this ties back into my point about the contrivances and the.
For goodness.
Listen. The contrivances in the writing are there, right?
Go on then.
They walk over to the island at the end of the film after the trident's broken. They've got rid of the curse, right?
Yes.
He puts his spyglass up. He's like, "Oh look, it's the Dutchman." He wanted to go and check that everything worked, right?
Yeah.
They've got no phones. They can't communicate to say, meet me here. But it just so happens, I can buy maybe Will Turner coming up, because he probably is looking as well, and he sees him and comes off the ship, and it's like, oh, that's lovely. Fucking Elizabeth Swann coming out, on the other hand.
They live there!
They live there.
They live there.
They live
on
there.
the hills.
Okay.
And I haven't even seen all the films.
Okay.
They live on the hill.
They live on the hill.
Didn't think
Okay,
they
fair
would be
enough.
there.
That's something I've forgotten about.
And I think Will Turner, I could be wrong, but came back every now and then to...
Every 10 years when he could come
see
back.
Okay, that means that my knowledge of the films has completely deteriorated then.
Yeah.
Henry Turner and Karina.
What about their relationship?
Yeah, what relationship?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess they worked out right in the end.
Got nothing against them, what their plights were, but I just they weren't very interesting as interesting because of the same problem I have with Salazar. Him just being there for the sake of having a bad guy that wants to someone to kill Jack off, because who doesn't want to kill Jack off? Jack off. Because of all of that, it just seems it seems like they were trying to copy the whole Will Turner, which is fair because it's a Turner thing. But if you're gonna do it, then do it. If you want to do it again, do it as good.
You don't need
no,
to
it's not a
explain
case
everything.
because
it's magic.
But there's no magic.
Magic.
There's mythology and curses, but there's no magic.
Yes, there is.
No,
Magic is real.
Disney is magic.
Disney's life.
Right. Yes.
You took the wrong people to the cinema, didn't you?
Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid 5 maggots out of 10.
Chloe, what do you reckon out of 10? 10 maggots. How many maggots would you give?
Are we allowed half maggots?
No,
Do they exist?
sadly not.
Oh.
No.
No, because then we might as well do
maggot.
100.
Full maggot. Maybe 7.
7?
7?
Yeah.
Okay.
7.
I'm actually gonna push the pirate boat out here.
Oh.
You're gonna do an 8.
I'm gonna do an 8.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm gonna
See,
do an
if
8.
I had a half maggot, I'll go 7.5. But there are.
Okay. If you're going into it for a Pirates film, I think it's better than the last 2. It's got more energy. It's had more effort put into it. I think it feels like they actually tried to bring a little bit of spark back. But I think everything else, like all the new characters, the writing, the whole contrivances of everything. Of course, there's the post-credit bit with Will Turner, Elizabeth Swann. And Will Turner, Elizabeth Swann, and then the weird Davy Jones dream.
I called it.
You did, yeah. I thought Barbossa wasn't going to be dead, but then everyone thought he was dead in Black Pearl, and he comes back into.
He might still not.
He might still not be dead. This is what I was saying about I didn't have any emotional investment with the scenes that tried to do that, because it was like, well, fuck it. Anyway,
It wasn't meant to be funny, I don't think, but me and Chloe found it hilarious.
What did?
The secret bit.
It is funny.
All that got left behind
was barnacles.
But I didn't know what it was. It looked like little toffee sweets.
Yeah.
And I was like, why?
Little Reese's cups. Little Reese's cups.
Then you left
Why
with these
have they left some
barnacles
sweets on the floor? And Chloe's like, no, they're barnacles, and that's just gross.
but-
It's like leaving a dump
Yes.
on someone's floor.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you go into their bedroom and you leave a big turd,
leaving skin flakes.
and then you leave. Who does
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Davy
Especially when
Jones.
people
But-
are asleep. It's just
Well,
rude.
yeah, exactly. Has anyone else got anything to say?
No.
No.
I think,
No.
I think you've ruined it enough.
Great,
so.
cool. So, there you go.
Yeah.
If it's your birthday today watching this video, happy friggin' birthday to you. Please remember to stay beautiful. What do you say? See you later.
See you later.
What do you say?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, great.
No, we should come up with like a joint.
Yeah,
a joint
thing. Okay, let's see what comes. Let's see what comes to your head at the same time, right?
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Meringues.
Bye.
Meringues. Great.